Okay. So I wanted to go over mindset a little bit today. Just mindset of a successful transformation. I mean, I know Jeremy, you're already pretty successful in your transformation now, doing bodybuilding and stuff. But just a couple things that I want to go over. So I think the most important things are just like moving fast, basically taking action, owning everything, just having accountability, and then act, like who you want to become. The person that you want to become probably isn't getting off work or something and going and laying on the couch and eating a bag of chips. The guy you want to become is different than that. So I think that that's also pretty important, just actually like acting like that person. And then getting into like just that action again and just taking fast action. So fastest mover wins. And I always like say, I mean, you guys have noticed too when we've gotten started, like I don't want to I would rather us get started right away rather than like wait for the perfect time in your life where we can start doing things or I may not know a lot about your body yet, but I want to get started and we learn as we go. We learn how you're going to respond to stuff. We learn what works for you with your schedule and what doesn't by just taking action and not waiting for that perfect plan. So, starting messy and disorganized. Um Action wise, like an actionable step that you can do each day, I think is just like every day I wake up and just write down like what I need to do and what are the biggest things that I need to do. So, um a lot, you'll definitely get caught up in things that aren't going to be very important, thinking about, oh, what supplement do I need to be taking? Do I need to be taking this, that? I think just, every day, if you are busy or whatever, just focus on the main thing that's going to drive you closer to your goal. And ideally do it first thing in the morning. Obviously, if your big thing to do is get to the gym and you have to work at 5 a.m., it might be hard to lift first thing in the morning. Um, why we act fast. So speed compounds and then overthinking and hesitation will definitely kill your momentum. And then down here to, sorry, I don't know how to work a Miro worth shit. But okay, so radical ownership. Like I was in like a little intense kind of psycho mode when I made this, but like radical ownership, like I mean like everything. If you didn't get to the gym today, your fault. If you didn't, get a meal in, it's your fault. If just actually taking accountability for things and not saying like, oh, well, this happened today, this happened. And it's like, sure, that probably did happen, but if you would have moved a little bit faster, got that done first thing in the day or something, then, nothing would have gotten away. It may have got in the way of a couple other things that were semi-important, but not the most important thing. Um, Also too, like an action exercise for this. Every Sunday, which you guys don't necessarily have to worry about because I send the check-ins over, so you should pretty much be filling them out like every Sunday. When I send those over, just kind of put down like, what went wrong this week, what didn't go well, what did you do or did you not do that caused it to not go well, and then we need to fix that. So, the why on that, ownership is power. If it's your fault, it's in your control. That's why I like the radical ownership, even if it's not like, obviously to some extent there it's not true. If you are going to the gym in the morning and you total your car and you're like, "Oh, it's my fault I didn't get to the gym today." Obviously that doesn't make sense, but I like, taking ownership because it means that you're in control of your actions. Down here to aggressive goal setting and achievement. So definitely one thing I see all the time is people suck at setting goals. I will get on a call with somebody, and this doesn't apply to either of you in here, but somebody might be like 60 pounds overweight or something, and they're like, I really want to lose 15 pounds. And it's like, are you going to be happy if you lose 15 pounds? You're probably gonna be happier than where you're at, but that's not the end goal. You need to like think big. Think big. Where is the end goal? What do you truly want to achieve? Whether it's you want to be a pro bodybuilder or you want to be whatever. Set those big goals and then we'll set those shorter goals over time. So like here, not just saying lose weight, saying I want to lose exactly this amount. Set your specific target, give yourself a short timeline to do it because it's going to create some urgency. It's going to make you take action faster. If you say, like, especially right now for New Year's goals, if you're like, I want to lose 40 pounds or I want to gain 40 pounds by the end of the year. Okay. Well, now you have 12 months to do it. So you're gonna kind of drag it out a little bit. You're gonna end up in October where you're only up or down 10, whichever way you want to go, and then you're trying to cram to get the rest in. Set your short targets too. Like if the end goal is gaining or losing 40 pounds, okay, I'm gonna be up 10 pounds within the next 2 months, and then I'm going to be up 20 pounds within 4 months, and just keep going from there. So you have those set targets that you're working up to. And then, same thing, just identifying those daily actions that are actually going to take you closer to that goal, and then execute with non-negotiable execution every day on those things that are going to get you going forward. Self-audit, we kind of already went over that. So, what moves you closer, what slowed you down, and what needs changed immediately? Over here, future-based identity. So, operate today based on who you're becoming. This is definitely something where you're not just going to change your physical body, but you need to change your daily life to reflect the person you want to become. Write down like what would the ripped, strong, energetic version of me be doing today? What would I be doing and how am I going to get to those goals? Um, and why we do this is because your results do definitely lag behind your identity. And then emotional fortitude. So this is a huge one, just operating when you're tired, stressed, doubting yourself. When you truly become that identity that you want to become and you start living your life every day like that, you're going to do things, the same things every day, whether you're tired, you're stressed, you're doubting yourself, you're pissed off, whatever. And just kind of like a an actionable thing for that, when you feel overwhelmed, when you feel like there's too much going on, if you're like, oh, I gotta log all my meals today, I gotta get my lift in, I gotta get my cardio in, I gotta work too. Just stop, breathe, identify the next logical step. Where can we go to first? What can we execute first? What is the most important task? And then just make that next logical move, execute calmly, and then just win the next 10 minutes. Obviously, I can't spell. Should probably fix that real quick. And then nobody feels like it, at least not all the time. I know I didn't feel like going to the gym today, got it in, and I was really happy I did because I ended up having a good lift. It's always those lifts too where you feel like you don't want to go that end up being the best lifts because you're like, shit, I got it in when I didn't want to do it. And that definitely just makes it better at the end. So, relentless energy. So, energy is your currency. Protect it, weaponize it, direct it. Just the by energy, I mean not physically actually like feeling wired up all the time, but actually putting your energy and your effort into the most important things. Identify when your energy is the highest and execute that with no distractions. So if you notice like, oh, every day on Sunday I feel pretty good. Okay, well then on Sundays we're gonna make sure okay, let's say it's Sundays and it's in the morning. So okay, perfect. We're gonna wake up Sunday morning and that's when we're gonna hammer out your meal preps because that's when you can execute, put your phone down, just get your meals made, get your meals prepped. And that's the best way to do it. Get it out of the way before you feel tired. So, but that's pretty much it. Any questions over that from you guys? I know I went through it pretty quickly.
Okay, so I got one
Yeah.
part I can think of. So, what you're saying about back to when days, like, days where, uh, I don't want to do this, there's days that you don't want to live because of reasons, but
Mm-hmm.
it's excuse. And sometimes it is, that actually is the reason that it happened. But because I had that before in my past. In the past, like oh, I got this going on, I got that,
Mm-hmm.
but I still do it. But sometimes it's good, but then sometimes it just makes things worse. So,
Yeah.
like, and one of the reasons is like, I'll say, let's say, would you say it's appropriate for like, if you're okay, let's say I did legs yesterday, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um, And then let's say, okay, my next workout tomorrow is going to be legs again, but I'm still sore. Like, and I actually am sore. Like, I'm over here this
You're cutting out a little bit.
morning. I woke up just I almost fell down the stairs. It was bad. Like, I think I went too hard. Appropriate? Ah, oh, here's
Oh,
trash.
S- I heard most of it. So one like for instance with like the legs thing, like you shouldn't be doing back-to-back leg days. Like we shouldn't have it laid out that way. So if like that does happen, definitely, like either for some reason the schedule gets messed up or whatever, let me know so we can fix that. But number two, like definitely like there's a level of like knowing yourself when you're like, okay, like I'm being lazy right now. I don't want to do it, so I'm gonna go do it. Versus like my body feels beat up. I physically need a rest day. So like when you physically feel like you're beat up and you need to take a day off, then definitely take a day off. We don't want to make that fatigue like compound and get worse, but there's definitely, that different level of like I'm tired right now versus like I'm sore as shit. Like I don't think I can lift right now.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, yeah, that makes
Okay.
sense.
Perfect. And any other questions, Jeremy? You got anything?
Not that I can think of now. It makes
Okay.
sense. I think it's just
Perfect.
kind of a habit that you either want it or you don't, and you kind of set up
Mm-hmm.
you build a system to kind of take your brain out of it, so you know just what to do, like with the meal prepping or
Yep.
having you make a lifting program for us. We just
Mm-hmm.
follow it and take our brain out of it, which gets rid of the thinking. So,
Yeah.
um, no, that makes sense to me.
Definitely, definitely. No, just kind of operating like a robot basically, but no, that sounds good, guys. I'm gonna take a picture for my story just so, can't let my story think I work part-time. All right. All right. I will if you guys have any other questions though, just shoot me a message and other than that, I will talk to you guys on our next check-in. So, yeah, hope you guys got some value out of today. I know we ran through it pretty fast and it was just kind of basic mindset stuff, but planning to elaborate a little bit further on some of those things in the coming weeks. So, we will get on that, but other than that, guys, I hope you guys have a good rest of your night, and I will talk to you soon.
Sounds good to you, man.
All right,
All
see you
right, you
guys.
have a good night.
Yep, later.
See you.